window platform for helicopter operations, regulators and the state governments. Before Heli Seva, just imagine what used to be there. Obtaining approvals for operations was a fragmented and time-consuming process. Today, everything from route approvals to slot allocations has been digitized. And I believe such interventions are essential to support the emerging helicopter ecosystems in the country. And it is estimated that we are going to increase our fleet to 1,000 plus helicopters in the next 10 to 15 years. We have around 240 to 250 NSOP and another 40 to 45 private ones. But from that 300 number, we are aiming to reach 1,000 plus in the next 10 to 15 years. And this can be enabled by the UDAN scheme, which has already completed 8 and in the 9th year, and we are extending that for another 10 years also. And a 30-minute helicopter ride, which previously used to cost around 1.25 to 1.5 lakhs, today, through the viability gap funding of UDAN scheme, is costing around 30,000, which is translating up to 2,500 to 3,500 per person. And we have launched the UDAN 5.1 also, particularly for helicopters, and allowed NSOP operations with enhanced safety requirements to enable expeditious commencing. And our government's emphasis for helicopters exemplifies the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji to make aviation more impactful and inclusive also. And here I must mention that Pawan Hans has definitely been one of the champions of UDAN. It has been awarded 42 networks covering 128 routes across 8 states. And I'm confident that Pawan Hans is very soon going to expand its operations in all the hilly and northeastern areas. If I go into depth, they are all going to ask me only again that we have to do all this. And with our ongoing efforts for oil discovery, especially in the Andaman Sea, where India holds an estimated potential of 2 lakh crore liters of oil, the offshore operations are also going to skyrocket in the country. Similarly, there are numerous other opportunities for other operators also. With growing congestion in urban cities, helicopters present new avenues for corporate and intra-city mobility. India's geographical beauty makes the heli-tourism and aerial sightseeing a segment which is very, very promising. Run of Kutch of Gujarat, beaches of Goa, national parks of Madhya Pradesh, Western Ghats of Maharashtra, heritage charm of Daman and Diu, and the list is endless. We have such breathtaking views to offer in the country, and the states, this is where the states are also very, very important. They must prioritize the development of helicopter infrastructure, and we will partner with the states, especially the northeastern states, where we see a huge potential to grow, where we can establish the heliports also. And like I've mentioned, the UDAN 2.0 scheme, which is going to be extended for another 10 years, talks dedicatedly about establishing these heliports, especially a heliport in each district, in the hilly areas and the northeastern states. So we are committed to improve the infrastructure in this area. What we want is the enthusiasm and the excitement from the private industry and partnership from the state governments to collaborate with us, to coordinate and collectively establish a robust ecosystem for the helicopter network. And last year, I remember we have launched India's first dedicated government heli medical service at AIIMS Rishikesh. The PM Shri Ambulance Seva in Madhya Pradesh is also an excellent case study, providing critical care to accident victims and emergency patients during the life-saving golden hour. And this I'm mentioning so that the other states also can take a lead from this. Many of you might be thinking that if I have a helicopter, what is the use that I can do? And one of the most important ones is to provide medical service in those most important and crucial hours. We need to replicate such models across the country, especially those remote areas where medical services are still little challenging for us to provide. And globally, the utilization of helicopters for emergency medical services stands at 18%, while India is at 1% today. With a growing middle class demanding faster medical services, I see a lot of potential and especially a lot of opportunity also for the private players that are here. And I can take another example, which is about organ donation, which is happening more frequently these days. And when a person is brain dead or when a person is at the last minute of his life and he is able to donate his organs also, they have to be transported immediately sometimes. The organs have to be taken to the hospital to be transplanted in that golden hour itself. And how can you do it? You can only do it with the help of helicopters or air transport systems. So these are the systems that are coming up more and more today, and the private industry also has to take advantage of this by partnering up with the governments. And being here in the western region, I see immense opportunities for religious tourism as well. The pilgrim reach can grow multifold by getting aerial routes to see blessings of Shirdi Sai Baba and Ujjain's Mahakaleshwar and the Somnath temple in Gujarat. And like I've mentioned, the examples are numerous here also. And take Kedarnath, for example, more than 3 lakh passengers now fly there annually. It is Ministry of Civil Aviation, the UCADA, State Government of Uttarakhand, private organizations, all together have created such robust network there. And I also want to emphasize on the critical importance of building a safety culture around helicopter operations. This is very, very important for all of us here today. If we talk about Kedarnath, the Char Dham, also safety of pilgrims must remain our top priority. There can be no shortcuts, no room for communication errors, and no margin for poor decision making also. Though helicopter operations can be challenging, when I also review some of the incidents, we can see that it is quite challenging in the mountainous terrain. It is unpredictable weather sometimes, thin air, and pressure of pilots also for shorter turnaround times. But operational difficulties should never be the excuse for any one of us. So that is something where we have to step up the game, create a much better safety systems around the operations that we have today. For now, we have curtailed the number of shuttle operations for Kedarnath, and we are ordering for special audits also as the operators, and mandated familiarization sorties for the pilots is also being done today. And apart from the enhanced surveillance that we want to do, I'm thinking for long-term sustainability and safety of Char Dham operations, which we must revamp the entire mechanism. Infrastructure also needs a significant upgrade to handle challenges posed by the terrain, traffic and unpredictable weather. We are coordinating with the Airport Authority of India for trying to establish different kinds of air traffic control systems so that we can predict the weather better, we can have a better understanding between the traffic control and the helicopter pilots and the systems today. So we must build a circle of trust, dialogue and discipline, which I feel is a shared responsibility between all the stakeholders, the center, the state and the operators together. Overall, I believe that the environment is conducive for the helicopter industry to take off, and I assure complete support to the industry, and I am committed to ensure that rotary wing aviation receives the attention and support it truly deserves. And I see that the air is little heavy here today, but if you see that the aviation enthusiasts and the stakeholders, you would know if the air is heavy, it is very difficult to take off. So let us lighten up a little bit. Let us understand what we are going through today. And we have a commitment. We are all here together because we all have a passion for civil aviation. We all know what happens day in and day out. And together, if we want to come out much stronger out of whatever is happening in these testing times, we all have the responsibility to come together and to remain committed to the goal that we have, which is the progress of civil aviation. That is a commitment we have made to the industry and the people of the country. And I stand here as a minister offering my full support to each and every one of you. I'm committed to stay on this line. I'm committed to deliver also. So together we need to come up much stronger so that we achieve all that we want to do. And I must emphasize that the small aircraft market deserves equal attention, as it often takes a backseat. And I see that when we talk about aircrafts, usually the wide body and narrow body, they take the preference. And we are talking about the smaller ones, the helicopters are sometimes taking preference. The smaller aircrafts are slowly left behind. But we have to give the concentration to each and every one of them. Small aircrafts are very effective in connecting the remote areas. And one effective use case for a country like India is the seaplanes also, which I am also trying to push as much as possible so that we can see more seaplane operations happening in the country. There is a huge potential and there is a huge market, but we all need to crack that thing where we can see more operations happening in the country. We had the recent de Havilland seaplane demonstration also across multiple states, where the states were also very, very excited to see that and have come up with different routes connecting places within their states also. And it showcased the technical and operational feasibility of seaplanes within India's diverse and water-rich geography. Several operators are in active discussions with Ministry of Civil Aviation and DGCA. Additionally, many state governments have expressed strong interest, like I mentioned. I see that the demo flight has proved that seaplanes can be cost-effective, low infrastructure solution, particularly in regions where building traditional airports or conventional runways is a big challenge. We are facilitating it with the necessary regulatory support also. In 2024, DGCA has revised the regulations to simplify aircraft certification, pilot training, and aerodrome requirements for seaplane